Here I am sitting on a bench on a Friday night.
Hey, Rich.
Rich Sambuchino, joined by
Senior Vice Frank Hall.
Yeah,
This is different. I know I didn't think which title I was going to use this time.
Why are we doing a Friday night? Everyone's probably wondering. We usually don't do a Friday. We usually do a Saturday.
Yeah, we normally do a Saturday.
But that's a big to-do going on. Yeah, we felt the need to do a recording because tomorrow's a big day, Frank.
Yeah, tomorrow is National Be the One Day. It's the American Legion initiative, and June 1st is National Be the One Day. So we figured we'd probably come on. It doesn't make much sense to come on halfway through the day, so we figured we'd come on and tell you all about it tonight.
Yeah, that way you can be ready for tomorrow and to do some of the activities that you probably need to do, which obviously is get a hold of somebody.
You should.
And see how they're doing.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked. You told me this has been going on for a few years, and shame on me, but I didn't realize that.
Right.
So that's where we're trying to get better and get the word out to you as well. That way everybody understands. Just mark your calendar somehow, and what's something someone could do on this National Be the One Day?
So on National Be the One Day, it's a good opportunity for you to reach out to your friends, your shipmates, your soldiers, your Joes that you all served with, and reach out and just check in with them. Maybe some of these is those guys that you haven't talked to in a couple of years, or maybe it's been decades, but it might be a good opportunity.
Looking at me when you say that?
Because you may.
I did retire a few years back.
You may have a couple of friends that, I've met some of your friends.
Yeah,
some of them,
it's been a while.
They're just as gray as you. They watch this. But it's probably been a couple of decades since you've reached out and talked to some of them. By the way, it's been probably about a couple of decades for me since I've seen some of my shipmates.
Yeah.
So
and unfortunately, you said you just lost one this week.
I did. Yeah, and that's very sad too. Veteran suicide.
How did you find out? Just curious.
Through Facebook. There's a Coast Guard group that I'm a member of, and they post those, and he lost his battle with mental illness. So hopefully he found peace. But what we don't want to ever do is lose another friend or colleague or shipmate or legionnaire.
Do you have some sort of stat for how many a day? What is
it's 22.
22 a day is what
22 veterans a day commit suicide due to mental illness, and that's 22 too many.
And now is it veterans, or is it people that are not veterans, or what's going? Why it's so high with the veterans?
So statistically, veterans are 57% more likely to commit suicide than any other group, and it's hard to understand why, but I think a lot of it has to do with when you're in the military, you lead such a structured life, and when you get out of the military, you're kind of just out, you know. You and I we found a lot of hope and a lot of purpose here at the Legion.
Yeah.
And I think that keeps us grounded and keeps it structured. I know the American Legion has definitely given me structure and purpose that I think I was missing when I first got out of the military. So I think that's a huge part of it. And also, you go home and you're there, you're done.
Right. Well, and that's the nice thing too. You go in the post. We got a couple. We're going to be going back in there behind us, and there's a couple old timers in there, and just to find out how their life's going for the day. One guy's having a little bit of a rough day yesterday, and so we talked to him.
Yeah.
And maybe it made a difference. Who knows?
I hope it does.
And I saw we have some out-of-towners that are in the building, so we'll have to go in and see how they're doing. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned something too. You found out on Facebook. Everyone's always thinking pick up the old phone and everything, but you got all the other means to just say, hey, how's it going? If you can just be the one to reach out to somebody at the right time, you never know.
Yeah, so. and Facebook is a huge tool. That's how I stay in contact with a lot of my shipmates. I have a few that watch on this, and I see their kids growing up and stuff like that, and I check in with them that way. But you can also tell when they're not. And sure, it's definitely be the one checking on veteran suicide. But we have a lot of not veterans on this. That, you can check in with your friends.
Yeah.
Just as easily.
Yeah, I know every time you hear of a suicide, you're kind of shocked that,
yeah.
Wow, I didn't see that coming,
Right.
So, now, so this is national tomorrow. 1 June.
Yep.
Is national. Is there some sort of initiative throughout the year? Or
yeah, so the national commanders now have made be the motto of the American Legion. And with that, every Friday I try to post a buddy check on the Facebook page to try to check in. It's also the initiative that once a month, on the first of every month, that we step out and we make sure that we do that check-in. It's kind of interesting how this kind of got started, but it was like a grassroots campaign that's now spread tremendously, with it being national be the one day on June 1st, which is pretty epic. And I think it's important that we all step out and make those phone calls. Go see your neighbor. I mean, we all have neighbors that are veterans. Go down the street. It might be the guy that, you know, he's a little off. There's probably a reason. Right. You know, you might want to be the one. You know, he might have come home broken. You know, be the one to stop, to knock on the door and check in, and, you know, invite him down to your barbecue that you have every year, that he just sits there and stares at you across the fence. You know.
Well, and you had mentioned, you know, we talked about last recording how we had a little bit of a drive for membership, and it kind of ties in the same with membership. And I think we learned from just the compliments we got from some of the old timers that they're like, wow, you guys called to check on me, and we weren't pushing the membership on them. We were just really seeing how they were doing. And I think now our new initiative, Postwise, is every month, or you know, near the end of the year, December on, you know, get through the Christmas holidays, in January on, is not so much, hey, we saw you haven't renewed, but more of a, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And if they're going to renew, it's going to happen naturally, and if they're not, we can maybe find out what's going on in their life, you know. So instead of just the tallying numbers for membership, I mean, I'm not saying membership's very important, don't get me wrong, but maybe this approach is kind of more in tune with being the one, you know, to show the compassion that we need to show. And
it is, and we do, and that's literally one of the pillars of the American Legion, to make sure that we are. I mean, sure, we have a canteen or a bar. That's not what we're about. That's not what the American Legion's about. The American Legion's about you. I mean, you and I are the prime example. I mean, I come in and we sit down, we talk, we catch up, you know, check in with each other, and we say, hey, how are you doing? You know,
yeah, there's a few times I haven't seen you. I'm like, hey, where you at?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah,
so
everything good.
And
all right.
Same, you know.
So if someone is having trouble now, I know they made this real simple. What'd they do?
Yeah, now you can either text or call 988. That's it, 988. So text that number. A trained professional will reach back out to you and try to help you, or call and they'll walk you through it. And reach out. If you just reach out. I mean, I'm at the post all the time. Rich is at the post all the time. The last thing we'd ever want is for somebody that we know to ever lose their battle with mental illness. Take the time. You're not alone. You're not alone. It's not something to be ashamed of. Seeking help is nothing that should be a stigma. Seeking help should be something that should be a safe opportunity for you. Nobody, especially me, is going to question you if you need help. Ask. There's help there. I mean, we do the buddy checks every week on the Facebook page. Our post number is on the bottom of this Facebook page. Call. If there's an officer in the post or not, somebody's going to help you out and give you the right information.
Leave a message, do whatever you got to do. And,
right.
Well, I'm glad we brought this up. It's a good topic to talk about, and
it's not easy.
Not our norm,
right.
But we didn't want to wait till tomorrow. So as Frank said, Frank, appreciate all you do. I know you've taken care of a few things, and I have as well. So, but
I appreciate it.
I think we got it all covered, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey everybody, we're going to record here in a couple of weeks when we get some events going on.
Yeah, we'll be back to the fun jive.
Yes.
This one's a little bit more serious, but it's important.
Yes, great Memorial Day weekend too. So if you didn't get a chance, take a look at some of our videos on Memorial Day. We had some real nice ceremonies. So.
We did.
All right,
Frank,
boss. I'm going to head this way.
All right.
All right, take care.